I do not get the hate for the James Gunn universe. Peacemaker season 2 just finished. I thought season 1 was stronger in most ways, right? I thought it was more cohesive and came together better. This felt very, very much like it was suffering under the weight of the James Gunn being the DC head honcho. Right now, having said that, was it bad? No. Okay, I found this a perfectly enjoyable watch. So the should we cut to the chase or not? While people are mad at it, I'm not sure. So it starts off. Peacemaker is doing, he's doing peacemakery things. Everyone's lives are somewhat shattered and destroyed from the events of the first season. If you recall, there's a interdimensional doorway in his dad's place. He's now living in his dad's place because his dad's dead, which he killed right in the first season. So there's an interdimensional doorway in there where he has all his Peacemaker stuff, so I always assumed this was something made by his dad, played by what's his name from Terminator 2. Robert Patrick? Yeah, Robert Patrick, who's good in everything. I really he's really genuinely good in everything. So it's raining outside. So basically it starts off, it's raining outside, and Eagly, who's I think one of the best characters. I freaking love Eagly. Wanted to go flying, and he didn't want to get up to let him out. So he just let him go and fly around in this interdimensional zone. And they end up finding another door that looks identical with a lot of other Peacemaker helmets out. This interdimensional zone, there's hundreds of doors there. Some you can open, some you can't. But 20-minute walk away, there's more Peacemaker helmets, another door that looks identical. So a lot of the makeup of the character is that he had an awful father who hated him, and he made him and his brother fight when they're kids, and he ended up killing his brother. Right, that is it's hung heavily on him for the rest of his life. Right, so he goes through the store and he just to check it out. He's kind of drunk, and he sees his brother is there alive, right, and his father, and it's everything is better, right? Just everything is better in this alternate world. Everybody loves him. He's rich. He's successful. He's a good superhero. He's got his brother. He's got his father. They all work together as superheroes. It's fantastic, right? So it's only going to be a short amount of time before he goes and tries to live there. At the same time, you got a bunch of subplots. Oh, by the way, I think one of the coolest things about season 2 was that season 1 ended with a cameo from the Justice League, specifically Jason Momoa, right? Which makes it not in the current DC universe. So when they recapped it previously on Peacemaker, at the beginning, they reshot it so it had Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, right, and the Justice Gang in it, which I thought was really kind of cool, right? Was Peacemaker 2 actually shit? No, it was. I found it a very enjoyable watch. I would probably go back and rewatch it at some point, right? Again, wasn't as good as the first season. I think John Cena is great. All the actors are great, right? All the characters are great. You have a bit of a subplot with the Harcourt, the blonde, sexy woman on the was it on the right? Your left, my right, I don't know. Where she's because of the events of last season, she's lost her job as a spy, and she goes around starting fights and getting beaten up everywhere. Played by Jennifer Garner, and she looks freaking gorgeous. I mean, and she's also James Gunn's wife, right? And it's I wrote at the time when she had a big girl fight go on, it was awesome. And I just, what's this thing I saw? Right, I just tried to watch what's the Marvel universe? Thunderbolts, right? Just trying to watch Thunderbolts. So open up with a kick-ass, female fighting thing with Black Widow, and it didn't work at all. Why? Because Florence Pugh isn't Scarlett Johansson. If you want to have kick-ass women in fights and it to be cool, they've got to be very, very sexy, right? They've got to be super hot, right? With Florence Pugh, she's not unattractive, but she looks like your girlfriend or your wife. Like, she looks normal. She looks ordinary. So that fight scene, it just totally failed, right? But when Jennifer Holland did it over here, because she's super hot, right? It totally worked, and the choreography was all very good. I found that, somewhat engaging. You have they had a company. You had Rick Flag Sr. in it, played by Frank Grillo, who I think played Skullbones or whatever in the Marvel universe. Now in the movie, if you ever seen this, I would recommend going to watch the Suicide Squad, which I thought was great. Peacemaker season 1, then Peacemaker season 2. I would recommend the whole thing. He ends up killing in Suicide Squad. He kills Rick Flag Jr. And so Rick Flag Sr. absolutely hates him. But actually, if you want to watch everything, throw in Creature Commandos as well, which I think is seamlessly fits into all of this. It introduces Rick Flag, and also there was who was it from Saturday Night Live? Hey, let me see if I can. I'll do a search. It's Peacemaker season 2. It was a new character that were definitely the most enjoyable. Let me see if I can find a cast list. List of episodes. Okay, well, recurring characters. Who am I looking for? No, not him. Not here. Tim Meadows. Tim Meadows plays an Argus agent who's bonkers, right? There's a lot of funny stuff here. Like, he talks about having bird blindness, so you can't tell if eagerly is a owl or an eagle. You have Michael Rooker again, right? Michael Rooker showing up again as a different character who's sent to hunt eagerly. And again, that's what I found to have the most dramatic tension when Eagly was in trouble, right? You have Vigilante, who is somewhat more psychopath. You get into him a little bit more in this season. And I can't remember what the black woman's name is, right? But she was, again, not a huge amount happens. Anyway, so he's found this idyllic alternate universe, right? Where everything's great. He's got the Peacemaker cycle. And people love him wherever he goes, right? So it turns out, and again, spoiler warning, but this is why people are pissed off. It turns out he's on Earth X, which is the Yahtzee America one, right? And they actually did it way better than they did. What's that one on Doctor Who? Dot and Bubble. Dot and Bubble, you could tell straight away there was nobody who wasn't white, right? It was so heavy-handed. I didn't notice in this at all, right? There's an interesting subplot with the alternate Jennifer Holland character and Peacemaker. Peacemaker's somewhat in love with Jennifer Holland's character, and the Jennifer Holland character in the alternate universe digs him too. So he loves the other universe, but the big reveal towards not the last episode, it was like 1 or 2 episodes ago, they're on Earth X, which is a Nazi America alternate world, right? And he did know there's a whole mural of like Hitler and stuff there, which again I thought was kind of funny. But I think what pissed people off, and I think this was bad luck and bad timing rather than being somewhat disingenuous, was showing it was a Christian racist world, right? And I think Christians, especially in the wake of the death of Charlie Kirk, are sick and deaf of being called racist when they're absolutely not, right? However, that being said, there was in the 70s and the 80s a weird conglomeration of Christian Nazis in America, right? It was a really weird thing, but that was a thing. I remember it, right? It was a genuine, real thing. So, and I'm not trying to denigrate Christians, but I don't think James Gunn was either. or maybe he was a little. I don't think. I think using not inventing a new thing, but making Earth X somewhat made it legitimate, right? And somewhat made it more legitimate and not just like a woke swipe. But people are very, very sensitive about wokeness, which is the right. And if they think it's woke, forget it. I just don't think it was woke. I mean, I think James Gunn is in Hollywood, and obviously he has very woke politics. I saw no wokeness in Creature Commandos, on Peacemaker season 1, Superman. I just enjoyed it. Frankly, I found it very enjoyable entertainment. So there is a story going around that now Warner Brothers is being sold, I think, to J.J. Abrams' company. That James Gunn is going to be out if that goes through. I'm just saying, I think that was a mind-bogglingly stupid idea, right? I honestly, I think the Zack Snyderverse would have worked had he been left alone to actually do it, right? The Zack Snyderverse, its biggest failing was that it wasn't until it got to Justice League where you saw what the vision really was and where it's going, right? And then everything kind of fit together. But you never got that movie, right? For them to DC to abandon ship at this point on the James Gunn verse, it is a really stupid idea. I say Supergirl is like in the can, and I think that's probably going to be a good movie. But here's the thing: there's just so much hate for James Gunn and his Superman. All right, and I know he probably doesn't share my politics, but I don't feel like he's constantly rubbing in my face with his TV. I really don't, right? And the same way I didn't feel like Barry Letts or Malcolm Hughes was rubbing their politics in my face, right? When they did it in Doctor Who. I think it was primarily a story, a good story, a story about character, right? And a story about good characters interacting in a believable three-dimensional way. For me, that makes it not woke, right? It didn't feel like it was lecturing me at all, right? So good for that.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.